I want to comment briefly on the West End Park situation and the Kelly versus Long Branch and the Lepore versus Long Branch cases. I know that the mayor and the city attorney have their versions of how things are going, and that is what they have presented to the public. But I would suggest that they are seeing things the way they want them to be rather than as they are. Both cases will be appealed with the full support of the community behind them. The primary issue in both cases will be whether the court abused its discretion in refusing to allow the deposition of Solomon Dweck. After the assignment judge disqualified herself for conflict of interest from hearing the cases, ultimately they were both assigned to Judge Paul Kalpalko, who by all accounts is an honest judge. Over the city's objection, Judge Kalpalko ordered that Mr. Dweck's deposition be permitted to be taken. We all know what his testimony under oath would have been, that he paid a bribe to the mayor for a zoning change on Ocean Avenue. Without his deposition, this historical fact is treated as hearsay in a court of law, and it is not considered. Indeed, anticipating that Dweck would be testifying and that he in turn would have to answer under oath, the mayor has changed his story and now has admitted to taking cash from Mr. Dweck. But he says the cash was some kind of cash campaign contribution, which he never deposited anywhere and which he claims to have returned years later. This new story, when for years before, the mayor flatly denied taking any cash from Mr. Dweck. The people have a right to know if this mayor is a crook and whether this unwarranted zoning change for the projected West End projects was bought and paid for with criminal bribes. The depositions would confirm this. But then Judge Kalpalko sadly got sick, and apparently very sick, sadly perhaps fatally sick. In any event, the cases were on hold as they were specifically assigned to him. The assignment judge had already disqualified herself. The presiding civil judge, Judge Quinn, would have nothing to do with this case because it was specifically assigned to Judge Kalpalko, and also because he wanted nothing to do with anything to do with Solomon Dweck. As Judge Perry was then somehow assigned, a Judge Perry was then somehow assigned to the case. She then disqualified herself too for conflict of interest. As Mr. Kelly and Mr. Lepore always said, the cases should be sent to another county for a fair hearing. I think the actions and inactions of the Monmouth County Judiciary bear this out. Then suddenly a Judge O'Brien took over, and I say took over in quotes because it is not clear exactly how the cases were both mysteriously suddenly assigned to him. Judge O'Brien now reversed Judge Kalpalko with no legal authority to do so, and now suddenly would not allow the Dweck deposition to proceed, which was necessary to prove the cases. Judge O'Brien's actions were, in content, pretty clearly to prevent the allegations of illegality by elected officials from seeing the light of day. One would think that an honest judge would be offended at allegations that a mayor was bribed for a zoning change and would insist on inquiring further, but not him. He dismissed everything. We are more than confident that the appellate division judges will agree that Judge O'Brien's unexplained and unexplainable improper reversal of Judge Kalpalko's regarding the Dweck deposition was an abuse of discretion requiring reversal, and we are confident that both cases will be quickly reversed and sent to another court for a fair hearing. After the fair hearing, the overlay ordinance will most certainly be declared invalid, and eventually, one way or another, we will have our expanded park for the benefit of everyone and the good of the community as a whole in West End. The cases are not over, and we are not going away. Thank you.
Anyone else?